thoughtful that you don't disobey Allah, you don't earn His displeasure. So what did you then do? You managed to earn His pleasure because you treaded very carefully. And the result of earning His pleasure was the everlasting paradise in the hereafter. So we understand that taqwa is the greatest thing that you can have in life, because it gives you your ticket to Jannah. The hadith says that after taqwa, what is the greatest thing that can really benefit man? He can really take great benefit from. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions, مَا اسْتَفَادَ الْمَرْءُ بَعْدَ تَقْوَى اللَّهِ خَيْرًا مِّن زَوْجَةٍ صَالِحَةٍ. That there is nothing that a person can benefit the most from after the taqwa of Allah than a pious wife. Say subhanallah. I know you don't want to believe that, but no, it's true. You've got gems within your homes, and may Allah make all our wives pious. But the greatest thing that man can benefit from after taqwa of Allah, and let's put it in context of Islam, you see, because we're talking about Islam, we're not talking about worldly gain. So if taqwa can give you your pathway to Jannah, so let's reword this hadith. If taqwa can give you your pathway to Jannah, then the second thing which is the most beneficial to giving you the pathway to Jannah is a pious wife. True or not, brothers? Raise your hands if this is true. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Of course this is true. Yeah? A lot of reasons why men are not able to come to the house of Allah, the reason why men are not able to fully practice upon the Sharia is because of the restrictions of the wife. Not to say that they are correct in succumbing to her and giving up the truth for the falsehood just because she is forcing him to do that. We're not saying it's the correct thing that they're doing, but the reason why a lot of men even though they're wanting to dedicate a number of the time that they have in their life, a number of their years, and a number of their resources, mental strength, physical ability in the path of Allah, but they don't do, is not because they don't have it in their heart, it's because there's no permission from the home office at home. That no, you can't go for Isha Salah. Who's going to put the kids to sleep? But hang on a second, that's your responsibility. Put them to sleep, then you can pray your Isha at home. If I miss my Isha in the masjid, my jama'ah is gone. My 25 to 27 times reward is gone. If you and I both perform Isha Salah at home, you will still gain your 25, 27 time reward, because it is more virtuous for you to perform in the home than in the masjid. But I will lose out. I will lose out. But she won't agree. And sometimes it's our fault as well, because the way we live our 24-hour life, when it comes to taking benefit from the wife and getting the leeway, because we haven't given her anything in the day. So she's like, why should I give you something at the end of the day? Yeah, because we don't do anything. So for example, we could have helped ourselves by picking up our own dishes and putting them in the dishwasher. We could have helped our own cause. We could have, but no, we're lazy over there. And then we expect that, the wife should bend her back for us in every matter of our day-to-day routine. When we ask for something, she must deliver. Now that's not even fair, is it? So they're not always there to blame. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam continued the hadith and said, "In nadhara ilayha sarrathu." That what is this pious wife? He described it to us, and he said, when you look at her, the looking at her pleases you. She pleases you. When you look at her, she pleases you. وَإِنْ أَمَرَهَا أَطَاعَتْهُ. And when you instruct her to do something, she obeys you. وَإِنْ أَقْسَمَ عَلَيْهَا أَبَرَّتْهُ. And if you take an oath to do something, then she will go out of her way to assist you to fulfilling your oath. She will go out of her way to assist you in fulfilling your oath. وَإِنْ غَابَ عَنْهَا حَفِظَتْهُ فِي نَفْسِهَا وَمَالِهِ. And if you are absent from her, then she will protect her izzah, her honor, and she will protect your possessions and your wealth and your home. When you're absent from her, then you don't need to worry about, her honor. She will look after herself, and she will look after your belongings and your possessions within your home, and your home itself as well. This is the description of Al-mar'atu salihah, a pious wife. May Allah grant us all that. And I know we have that. Of course we all have that. May Allah increase it in that. Okay, so that was about taqwa. I thought that was a very important hadith to mention when we were talking about muttaqeen, that taqwa is the greatest thing that you can use and that can benefit you from quickly delivering you to Jannah. This is the easiest thing and the most beneficial, most impactful thing that can help you pave your path to Jannah. But after that, the next greatest thing that can help you pave your path to Jannah is a pious wife. Yeah, so it means that do not be hasteful in picking a wife first or second or third or fourth. I must mention what's in the Quran, mathna wa thulatha wa ruba'. Can't turn away from second, third and fourth wives coming. It's in the Quran. So when you're picking your first, second, third or fourth, then you must keep in mind and you must bear in mind that the decision making isn't supposed to be based on as first priority what she looks like. First priority what she earns, what kind of job does she have. First priority, what is she bringing to the table? Like, oh, she's going to bring a car with her. She's passed the driving test as well, so I don't need to pay for that when she joins. She's done her umrah, so I don't need to take her for that as well. Oh, she's done her hajj as well. Oh, that's a big bonus. Yes, that's it. You know, I should marry her now. You know, that's it. You know, that's so much expenses of mine are done. And if she's coming from abroad, then, oh yeah, you know, she's already got her visa stamped over here, so I don't need to apply for a passport and pay for those expenses as well. And, you know, all these things. No, these aren't the things that you base your marriage upon. You base it upon taqwa. That does she have the piety in her? And if she does, then she is al-mar'atu salihah. Then she is the pious woman. She is the pious woman. Yes, of course, when you're picking your first, second, third or fourth, then one thing that you have to bear in mind as well is that she must be appealing to you as well, externally. And we have to say that in this day and age, because a lot of times we commit to the taqwa of Allah and we compromise on the looks just to give in after marriage and make it hard for ourselves to lock our heart on her. So we made a commitment before that, you know what, she's got the taqwa, she doesn't have the looks, but she's got such good mannerisms, such good deen in her life, so definitely, you know, she is it, and I'm compromising on the looks, and in 3 years' time we walk back on ourselves and we say, you know what, she's not hitting the strings, you know, and it's not really, you know, it's just not working. And now she doesn't know what she's even done wrong. Because you ain't man enough to tell her that, you know, when I married you for the taqwa, I didn't marry for your looks, and now your looks aren't appealing to me, because you know she's going to take you down for that. Wait, but you married me for one thing, and I am still giving you that. I haven't turned away from my deen. I haven't stopped praying salah. Haven't become irreligious. So the basis on which you married me is still there. Then why are you distancing yourself from me? Then you won't have a leg to stand on. So the man doesn't become a true man, and he doesn't man up to it, and he doesn't say that the true reason why I'm backing away is because I compromise on something and now I'm not willing to compromise on it. You can't do that, can you? Nobody will accept that. Your father won't accept it, your mother won't accept it, her parents won't accept it, the world won't accept it, your imam won't accept it. Nobody's going to accept that. So then you don't say that reason, you say other things, then you make up things, you make up lies against her. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. You exaggerate her wrongs. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. And you demonize her. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. And this is oppression, and for this you will have to answer on the day of judgment. Don't think there's an easy way out. There's no easy way out of this. May Allah give us understanding. May Allah give us understanding. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse 3, He describes the qualities of these muttaqeen. Who are these muttaqeen people? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts by saying, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. These muttaqeen are those people who believe in the unseen. And if we were to truly understand what Iman and Ghaib, what these two words mean, then we will easily be able to understand what does الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ mean. So first, lexically, Iman, it signifies accepting with complete certitude what someone is saying out of total confidence and trust in the person. So what does Iman mean? Iman means you said something to me and I trust what you're saying because I trust you, and I don't have any background knowledge, research or verification on what you've said. That's not my priority. My priority is that I trust you as an individual. So the opposite of that is that if you say to me, Imam, taste this apple, it's really sweet. So I take the apple and I taste it. Then I say to you, this apple is really sweet. This is not me having Iman upon the sweetness of this apple. This is called tasdeeq. This is called affirming that yes, this apple is true based on my experience and observation. Yeah? And experience and observation is either through your, how many senses do we have? 5. Either through the 5 senses, and the 6th is your intellect. So when you affirm through this experience and observation something, and then you say, I have faith in this, this isn't called Iman. This is called affirmation. This is called tasdeeq. And Iman actually means that you have not used your 5 senses of observation necessarily. You haven't used that. Nor have you used your intellect. But solely because the being whom is saying this, you trust in him with total confidence, then you say, if you're saying that, then it's true. This is called Iman. This is called Iman. And we've described it, but bil ghayb, alladhina yu'minuna bil ghayb, those who bring Iman upon ghayb. Ghayb are all those things which you cannot do idrak and you cannot realize through your 5 senses, through your 5 senses of observation and experience. You can't realize these things through them. That's what ghayb is. So now when you combine them together, it is to believe with certainty, out of confidence and trust in someone, on those things which you have never experienced necessarily or observed in your life. That's what Iman bil Ghayb is now. Now that's hard. That's hard. Because as humans, we're not programmed to, accept without reason, or accept without observation, experience, without someone proving a point to us. We don't do that normally. But we do that for Allah. We do that for the Quran. And we do it for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as well, because of the ma'rifah and the recognition of Allah and His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that we have. Because of that recognition and ma'rifah, we are able to trust in that being to that extent that even if we can't even understand it with our mind, we've never seen, observed it with our 5 senses, we still believe in 100% certitude because we have full confidence and trust in Allah. Isn't that true? Yeah. And sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His kindness, He gives us realizations and light bulb moments. So sometimes you make a dua just in your heart. You didn't even raise your hands, nothing, and you say, I wish this, in your heart. Nobody even heard it. And then it happens within a moment. Then you say to your brother that, do you know what? I just made a dua in my heart, and this is how it turned out. I wish I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala something else that time. You say that. And so many people have these light bulb moments. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes gives you the actual realization through your senses and affirmations like this to just give you a greater push in His direction. That look, I am there and I am true, and you are believing in me, but believe in me even more. Believe in me even more. May Allah grant us that level of certitude. After having said that, let's just quickly define what faith means in the Western society. Faith in Western society is the name of intense emotion or fixed emotion upon something. So when you intensely feel about something, then you say that I have faith in this. Why? Because I really feel. This feeling factor is essential in the meaning of faith. Whereas for believers, faith is not about an emotional decision. Even non-Muslims, if you ask non-Muslims how they come into Iman, not faith, Iman, then they will tell you, I've researched, I've done this, I've observed this, and now I understand that this faith, Iman, this is the true thing. This is the true faith. This is the real faith. So they also base their decision of coming into Iman out of intellectual reasoning. And that's the difference of Islam and other faiths, is that when people come into this religion gives da'wah to إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. This whole Quran is giving da'wah, an invitation to people to reflect, think, use your intellectual capacity, use your reasoning, and you will realize that there is only one Allah. You will come to this decision if you truly use your mind fairly. You will come to this decision. Whereas other faiths, they emotionally drive you. And it's an intense emotion because of which you end up accepting what is in front of you. So Iman is different. And for Iman, we invite every person to accept that through intellectual reasoning. Just having mere knowledge of something doesn't make a person a mu'min. Yeah, so just having knowledge, it doesn't make a person mu'min. Shaitan was the greatest alim, and still is the greatest alim, the greatest person who knows, but he doesn't have recognition of the Creator. So he doesn't have ma'rifah, but he has ma'rifah, but he doesn't have love for Allah. So he knows very well who Allah is. He has full knowledge and he has recognition of Allah, which is why he was able to ask to be excused until the day of judgment and given life until the day of judgment, because he had ma'rifah of Allah, but he didn't love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one thing, after talking about Iman upon Iman bil Ghaib, is that our faith should not be based purely upon just intellectual reasoning, etc. But our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be beyond that, and it should be a relationship of love. We as believers have to fall in love with Allah. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ. That the believers, you will find them that they are the most intense in their love with the Creator. So they didn't fall in love with the Creator out of just emotion. They understood that He is the Creator and He is the control of everything. After the intellectual decision, this gave them so many reasons to fall in love with the Creator. Do you understand how a person's Iman works? Yeah, this is how. So you can't start on intellectual reasoning and end your faith on intellectual reasoning. You have to traverse beyond that into hubb lillah. You have to start to become completely infatuated with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, completely drowned in His love. That's where faith should end. That's where the goal is. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us all achieve that.